So when you want to talk about crazy, for me, what comes in is crazy in the sense of things I never thought imaginable.
Yeah, perfect.
Right? So like, again, we've been very fortunate. We were taken on tour by Blink-182, taken on tour by Green Day, that was their American Idiot tour. We're currently on tour with The Offspring. Like, we have checked off all of these massive things. With Blink, for me, crazy things, I remember there was a show in, like, I don't know if it was Vermont or something, the state fair, where weather was an issue, and basically Newfound, our set got cut. But what Blink said was, why don't you come up and play 2 or 3 songs on our gear.
Dude.
So here I am, this is 2001, and I'm playing the red, white, and blue kit. And it's nuts. I mean, Travis is completely different than me. He sets up different, all that stuff. It was so hard. I was so nervous. But just, playing on that kit was insane. I believe earlier that day I tried to sound check like Anthem or one of those songs with them, and I'm sure I flubbed it, but whatever. It's just kind of cool to do that. Another crazy story, for me at least, was when we were on tour with Trey Cool on the American Idiot tour. Of course, Green Day is blowing up at that time. And mind you, one of the nicest bands we have ever met in my entire career. One of the nicest bands, hands down. Super cool on that tour. Again, things were really happening for them at that time. So even though they were already massive, they were so humble about how big they were getting on that tour. Besides like the fun things like at the last show, Trey himself coming out and taking all my cymbals away except for a China. Classic tour
Right,
prank, right?
Yeah.
I do remember, speaking of China, that after that tour, he was always asking me, what China are you using? And he's a Zildjian guy. And I was the K Hybrid Custom. I had just started using those. I think it was on Catalyst, which we had just finished recording. Mike Fasano, super famous drum tech, awesome dude. He introduced me to the K Hybrid Customs. So Trey notices that I'm using it, and by the end of that tour, guess who's using a K Hybrid Custom China? K Custom Hybrid China is Trey, which I don't think he uses anymore, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe I did a little bit of that. That's kind of cool that I'm influencing him when still to this day he influences me. So for me, that's the kind of crazy stories. It's just, either meeting people or being around people or getting compliments or even sharing the stage with some of these greats that it's like you don't get this opportunity rarely, if ever.